Okay, recording. Hi guys, welcome to our Thursday night Team Zoom. We're super excited to have Ambassador Diamond and top money earner Ashley Olive on with us. She's going to pour into you tonight and share some tips and a little bit about her story. And we're so excited because she's a dear friend of ours. We are so inspired by her, and we know that you're going to love her too. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on here. Ashley, thank you so much for being on here tonight.
I'm so super excited. I'm still like pumped from when I had you on Tuesday. So I'm like ready.
That's awesome.
Like I said, and I'm not currently sick at this very moment. Hardest pregnancy I've had so far. So I'm like, come on, baby. So I've been in the company for 3 years. I was an 8th grade math teacher. Absolutely loved what I taught. I loved what I did. My husband is my high school sweetheart, and we've been together since I was 15. So we've gone through a lot of growth together during that time. We're definitely not the same kids we were. We went off to college together, got married, did everything right, got the student loans, everything that everyone always says you should do. Like, we did all of it. We got the student loans and then came home and financed furniture, and then financed a house. And we did all those normal things. So he was a union pipe fitter. And then a year into our marriage, we decided we wanted to have a baby. And God threw us a pretty nice curveball and blessed us with identical twin boys that we were not anticipating, that caused a lot of tears on my end, because I was like, do you know how much twins cost? No, he did not know. He had no clue how much childcare was. And so I cried the whole ultrasound. He's grinning ear to ear. And it took a solid 30 more weeks, 28 weeks before he realized why I was crying in that ultrasound, because he was like, there's no way childcare is really $200 a week per child. And I was like, get Google, pull up Google. We were literally on hospital bed rest. He's looking it up, and I could see his eyes glazing over. And I'm like, refer back to that ultrasound when I was bawling. It's this moment for you. This is it.
I love it.
I knew what the cost was going to be. So I was so freaked out. So we have identical twins that came with a 9-week hospital bed rest stay, which was super expensive. And then the twins were in the NICU for 10 days. So they are our $1 million babies. And our joke is they would be calling, we need to get you on a payment plan and it has to be paid off within 12 months. Well, it was more than our mortgage. And I was like, those twins you're calling me about, they're going to live under a bridge if I pay you that much. I can't physically pay you that much. So they said, well, if you agree to auto debit it, we can put it on a 5-year plan. So literally, it was going to pay off when they went to kindergarten. How sad is that? And Brandon would be, I'd stress, I'm high strung. He's super laid back. And he'd be like, they can't repo the kids, right? Drake and Hunter are staying. They're not going anywhere. Whether these people get their money or not. I'm like, shut up. So my twins turn 15 months old, and we get a surprise pregnancy. Our 3rd little boy ends up being born before our twins turned 2. So we had 3 little boys in childcare. It was more than our mortgage to have all 3 of them in childcare, but we were not even sad. I look back at that time in our lives, and we were just so blessed and happy that we had 3 healthy children. They played together well. We're very blessed with their health. We were just happy. But we never had extras. We had exactly what we needed, and there was never going to be extra. And we just knew that was kind of going to be the way our life was. My mom I would tell her I'm never going to be able to have a girl. I'll never try for a girl. I'll never have a 4th child. Because back then I did really struggle with the fact that I had 3 boys. I was like, I'm never going to have a daughter. And she'd say, you don't know what God's plans are for you. And in the moment, it would make me so mad. It would make my blood boil. Because I'd be like, Mom, I am going to be a teacher until the kids are out of school, and then I'm going to be a principal. And by that point, I won't be able to afford to have another child because I'm going to be old. And Brandon's always going to be a pipe fitter. We are never going to have that opportunity. So I wish you would just quit saying that. And she'd say, you don't know his plan, Ashley. You can act like you do, but you don't. And I'd be so flustered by her. So then the summer of 2014, I had been following a woman on Instagram for a year. And I had just wrapped up my 5th year of teaching and decided to leave my hometown school district and go to another one because my beliefs weren't really aligning with administration anymore. And I'm super loyal and super, if I don't think we're doing what's best for someone, I'm out. So y'all, I took a pay decrease and driving 30 minutes further for a different job just because I felt like it was against my beliefs. So to do so, I had to go without pay for 2 months. And I was like, I've got to find a way to make extra money during those 2 months that I'm not getting paid. So I thought about like going and getting a small job in the evenings while Brandon was home so we wouldn't have to pay childcare like James Avery or like some small thing like that. And I was like, gosh, the whole reason I became a teacher was I wanted time with my babies. And now I'm going to go get another job and not have that time like this. There has to be a different way. And the girl from Instagram came into my mind. And she would post family photos that would talk about how you can make money from home. Anytime she posted a result photo, I was like, this chick is such a scam. Oh my God, scroll. But if she posted a family photo, I was like, oh, her scamish family's beautiful though. And so I would always stop and look at it. I just didn't believe her before and afters were true. For a whole year, guys. And I never liked a single photo related to the business, related to anything. So it was like midnight at the end of June. I sent her a message. She responded back. Thank goodness she was awake. And within 2 hours, I had watched a YouTube video she sent me and joined her business. Cross country. I don't know. I've basically never even looked into the company. So the next day I have to tell Brandon. So I walk out and I'm like, hey, I'm going to sell these wraps. And he's like, you just got scammed for how much money? So rude. Do you want to see her Instagram? The Facebook, the website looks like super legit. Like, what was I going to say? I'd never heard of a stranger across the country. Totally see why he was very skeptical. And I'm not salesy. Like, the most I've ever sold is the world's finest chocolate for a fundraiser. And I plan everything about my life down to like the month I wanted to get pregnant. Like, everything about my life is very planned. So the fact that I would join on a whim is so God coming over me that night, because that's just not me. I'm a researcher and I didn't even do that. So 24 hours in, I had been texting. I sent a group text to my best friends. I sent a group text to my family, and I made a post on Facebook, and I just got a before and after from my enrollers page. And I did my steps of success in my first 24 hours. And I really didn't know what that meant because I was so new, but people were making posts tagging me and saying like what a big deal it was. And I can remember being like, oh my gosh, like, okay, but I'm sure like everybody does that, but that's super sweet of them. But I was really just ignorance on fire. So I also joined somebody that is not known for wrap parties. They use social media. So I don't really know what came over me that I was like, and I'm going to do wrap parties. Like, okay. So I order a shirt, one shirt, because that's all we could afford. And it was, y'all are so blessed now with much cuter gear. Y'all remember the black solid one that was just like rhinestones? Like, I didn't even have enough money to get the cute saying on the back. Like, it legit just said it works. Rhinestones. So 2 weeks in, I get to a 1 Team 1 mission and I hit Ruby. 13 days. Okay. So that's my whole goal. That's $500. I'm so excited. And I go to this 1 Team 1 mission. I drag 2 team members with me, and I say drag because they thought I had lost my mind. Like, they were like, you've got a shirt. You are so ate up with this. You've drank the Kool-Aid. Like, oh my gosh, Ashley, you've got a shirt. And I was like, yes. And I listened to the Presidential Diamonds talk, and I was like, that's going to be us within 2 years. And they were just like, oh my God, we've got to bring her back down to like the ground. She has seriously lost her mind. And I was like, no, like, guys, I'm pulling you with me. Like, you joined early enough that you're at the top of my chart. And like, you're not even really getting a choice. Like, you're coming. I'm pulling you. We're going to the top. They're like, okay. So I start having wrap parties. And because I'm known for wrap parties, people think I must have had like 50 people. I had like 4. And 2 had already joined. It was not this amazing party. And I wish there was a video of it because I can't even imagine what a mess I was. But I think what helped me is my education background. I don't mind floundering or somebody asking me a question I don't know the answer to, because as a teacher, we tell our kids, you can always ask a question and we can help you get the answer. So when somebody asks me something I don't know, I'm always like, okay, no worries. Let me get that information for you. And I would go to my uplines team page. And so I don't get flustered by that. And so I always make sure my team knows, have the party without knowing anything. That's fine. You're going to have a party pad 2.0, which now is like, oh my gosh, cake. Anybody could have a party. But at the time, I didn't even know what a party pad was. And so I was literally just talking with people, putting wraps on them. And so I laughed when Jeree told her story on Tuesday, because my part of my story is that no doubt I am on a list for being a drug dealer, because I sold like $1,000 in wraps my first month. So people would walk in with $25 and then walk out wrapped, and nobody can tell they're wrapped, or they were like leaving cash and I was putting it in the mailbox with a wrap. And like, I know my neighbors were like, what is going on next door? Like, it can't be legal. So I just kept posting before and afters on Facebook and saying I had wraps in stock and I can wrap you now. My twins got to the point they'd be like, Mommy, who's next? Because it was just like a revolving door. But I made sure I was getting before and afters in front of people. I was talking about that I had the wraps in stock, that you could spend $25 and be skinnier an hour later. And I made sure it was all over my social media. So 30 days in, I have been partying the whole month. And it's not that people host parties for me. People seem to think that. They were all launch parties. So I would go and I'd launch Jury. Okay, I signed Jury the first day I joined. And at her party, I would say, and anybody who would really like to start making extra money with Jury, I'm going to come and I will do your party with your friends and family next week. That way you don't have to be prepared to talk with them. I will, and we can help you start making money. And they'd be like, so you will talk for me, even though you don't even know me. And I'd be like, I don't care. Okay, do you want next Friday or Saturday? So it was never like, so do you want to have the party or not? It was, do you want the party next Friday or Saturday or next Tuesday or Thursday? And I just picked days that I liked, which was every day, like there was no choice given that you weren't. In my team, it was like you join, you set up your monthly auto shipment and you have a party. Like they thought it was a requirement. They just didn't know any different. So I would open my planner. We would plan it out. If it was during the week, it had to be at 7 o'clock so I could see my boys for like an hour after teaching. And on the weekend, I would do an afternoon one and an evening one. So I do these parties all throughout the month. I partied through my entire chart. I didn't care who signed who, what level you were on, makes no difference to me. 30 days in, I was like 2 from charted double diamond, and I hit diamond and got a $10,000 bonus that night. And I was in just like shock. So my skeptical husband was like jumping up and down in the kitchen. He's like, I'm so getting a boat. I'm getting a boat. And I'm like, you're such a man. Like, okay. And he, mind you, does not really know what I've been doing, but he's been skeptical but supportive. Like we would basically like hit hands in the evenings, and like will have just worked, 50 hours a week, and I would leave and he would have to do dinner and bath time and bedtime with our boys. And he had never bathed our children up to this point because water like totally freaks him out with littles. And so I would, honest to God, y'all, have to be like, I'm going to smell their hair. Like, it better be washed, Brandon. Like, for real. Like, you have to bathe them. He'd be like, I'm going to. So we both made sacrifices, and I had never missed this time with my boys prior to that. But I saw the income potential. I made like $1,000 in wrap cash. I made like $1,000 in fast starts. I hit diamond. So I was seeing the money so quickly that all I could think was, this is one day going to make it where I could see my boys more than I ever have. So if I'm missing stuff right now, that's a very short-term sacrifice, and that's worth it for that long-term gain that I'm going to get. So I go back to teaching. I'm in a brand new school district. I'm further away from home. I left a district where I was dearly loved and the most requested teacher, and I became the new girl that nobody knew, and I was young and skinny. And everybody hated me. It was awful, y'all. I hated it. I cried like every single day. It was the worst experience of my life. And now I know I was put there for a reason, because I left in the middle of the year, and I would have never done that in my hometown because of the reputation that I held and how much I loved my kiddos. So I go to my new district, and I'm still partying in the evenings. And if anybody on here is an educator or know anything about educators, like, you can't be on your phone during the day. I taught 8th grade math, and those kids would have burned the stinking school down if I was on my phone and not paying attention to exactly what they were doing. So I would post before school on my 15 minutes of lunch by the time I got the kids to the lunchroom. And then immediately after school, I would post from the parking lot. Then I would go home. I'd see my boys for like an hour, and then I would do wrap parties. I'd leave the wrap party and go to my sister-in-law's house, and we would watch YouTube videos, chart, run numbers, message, and follow up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then start all over the next day. This is a girl that used to be in bed at 9 p.m. before I was in It Works. Like, if I don't have sleep, I'm not kind. And I felt like for my precious 8th graders, like, they needed me to be kind. But I knew that sacrifice had to happen if I wanted something different, because if you keep doing what you've always done, it's not going to change. So that means there's no going to bed at 9 o'clock. Your butt's staying up, and you're plugging in, and you're watching stuff, and you're looking at what leaders are doing. So I partied my whole second month, and I hit double diamond, and there was no bonus attached to it because there wasn't a bonus then. And I still never once thought about not hitting it, because bonuses are just extra. Like, that average income is incredible with or without a bonus. So I hit my second month of double diamond. And that was when I set my husband down and said, I know we thought I was always going to teach. And I worked really hard for that piece of paper. I carried a 4.0 all the way through college, made an A in every class I've ever taken. That piece of paper meant a bunch to me. But I gave birth to 3 beautiful little boys that I don't want to keep missing out in their life. I'm paying someone else to enjoy our children. How fair is that? And it was getting to the point where the twins could say stuff like, Mommy, I just wish you could stay home with me. And it's easier to say, baby, but I've got to provide for you. But it is hard when you have 5 figures in the bank from your extra side job and you're saying, I have to leave to provide for you, when the reality is you don't. So I was like, if I hit triple diamond, I can't physically keep teaching on a good conscience for our babies. And he was like, baby, if you are making 10 grand a month doing anything, you quit whatever job you want to quit. Like, sounds good. So I'm like, okay, checkmate. Like, I'm doing it then. So 4 months in, I hit triple diamond on Halloween. P.S. Everybody's out trick-or-treating. You could give less about your promotion. And it was really difficult to make it happen, but we did. And so every year on Halloween, I just giggle at what that looked like in 2014 for me. I was like in my phone, not even like looking at my kids for an hour. Brandon staring at me. I'm like, don't judge me. Okay. I'm trying to make this happen. So I hit triple, Brandon hit diamond, and he got a $10,000 bonus. So before prelims even posted, I wrote up a resignation letter, and I went and I took it to my principal. Andy, I'm not a quitter. I've never quit anything I've started in my life. So I was struggling with the fact that I felt like a quitter, that I wasn't going to finish the school year. So I watched videos of my boys the whole way I walked to the principal's office, because that was the only reason I was doing this. I just kept watching it. I mean, tears just streaming down my face. I walk in his office. I'm hysterical. He was not surprised because he knew I was miserable on that campus. Like, that's just not, I normally get along with everybody. So for me to be looked at differently was tough. So I gave him till Christmas break. That way he'd have plenty of time to hire a new teacher to take my position. And I walked away at Christmas break without thinking twice and became a stay-at-home mom. So 6 months into the business of somebody that was thinking, man, I really could use $500 because I'm going to go without pay for a couple months. I was making 10 grand a month and walking away from my career. So that was my biggest dream board item that I'm forever thankful for, is that time with my babies. So January hits, and that's when we had conference in January. I'm 6 months in. That's my very first conference. And my students from my class find me on Instagram while I'm sitting in the crowd. And they're commenting, begging me to come back, saying they hate their teacher, that they don't understand anything. And I start really second guessing myself. And I'm sitting there listening at Limelight, and I'm like, man, did I forever ruin these 8th graders? Like, is it going to be hard for them to pass their state test? Like, maybe I made the wrong choice. So I'm sitting down thinking, oh my gosh, I just ruined their lives. And then Mark Pentecost announced for the very first time the double good bonuses. And I was hysterical. I was in general admission. Everybody was staring at me like, why is this chick losing her mind? Because I knew I was inches from presidential and Brandon being double. And that's $130,000 in bonuses. So no, I didn't get a double diamond bonus. No, I didn't get a triple diamond bonus. But it's all in his timing. And it was meant to happen that way in that moment. So I hit that in March, and I get a message from PM Sauter that I'm a top 40 income earner. And I'm like, I think she messaged the wrong person. I've only been in this company for 9 months. That has to be for people that joined like when it started. So it cannot be me. There's no way that's possible. So it was really me. And I made the goal to hit ambassador by my 1-year anniversary, and I missed it. And I made it public. Just like I made it public, I wanted to hit presidential by December, and I missed it. So I always pushed harder, though, because of that public goal that I made. And I was never sad when I missed it. It just meant I was even closer to when I'm supposed to hit it. So I didn't hit it in 12 months. I hit it in 13. And the month I hit ambassador in 13 months, we got an email for Dash, and we were named top 15 income earners in the company in 13 months. So I can remember opening the email exactly where I was standing, being completely hysterical. I couldn't believe that just me, like I'd only been in the company for 13 months. I remember walking in a Dash, and I mean, I knew who people were, but like they didn't know who I was. And then came because of the year I joined, the complete assumption as, okay, so you do social media. And I was like, no, like I do wrap parties. What do you guys do? Like I was completely ignorant. I never looked left or right. I didn't know there was people out there building solely on Instagram. I didn't know there was people out there using just Facebook. I was just doing what I thought I should do. And I love wrap parties. Get me in front of a room full of people and I am in my zone. So I just kept doing wrap parties. I came home from Dash with a husband that was renewed, with a husband that got to see other men that are normal, like Chad. Like, it was so important for Brandon to meet men in this business that are top earners, that don't have to dress a certain way, that don't have to be perfectly clean shaven and can't wear Crocs. Like my husband's going to wear Crocs no matter how much money we make, y'all. Like that is just my husband. Like he is just, as the day is long, he's always going to be that man. So we came home and I'd been begging him to quit his job, and he walked away from his career 15 months into the company. Totally did it on a whim, didn't give me any type of leeway. I was walking into a wrap party and he was like, hey, I quit my job. I'm like, I don't even have time to process it. Now I have to go present. Rude. So I walk in my Wrap Wednesday, like fly through my presentation. My sample girls are like, what is going on? Why are you going so fast? But I just wanted to get home. I was so pumped. So he quit his career 2 years ago, this fall. And we became a stay-at-home family. So we didn't expect that. And it was definitely against the grain. His family cried, not happy tears, cried. It was not the norm, especially for down here, especially for a redneck. But I was like, you're missing too much with your kids that you don't have to miss. Like you should be able to be here for these moments. You should be able to be here for the class parties. You should be able to be there for the field trips and to help with these boys baseball teams without worry of overtime. Like it's not fair. Like I didn't work this hard for you still to be gone. So we've now, like I said, been home 2 years and he has literally not missed a moment of our children's lives. We ended up, because of this company, we are going to get to have a fourth child. So my mom was right. I'm pregnant. So aren't moms always right? Isn't it funny how that works? So we are going to get to have a fourth child and be able to afford it, even though I said that would never happen. And we're still top earners. We are still consistently enrolling. My 2.0 is a double diamond and Brandon is a triple diamond. We've earned almost $300,000 in bonuses at this point. So we are living the dream with really being able to see our team do things. So one of my presidentials is a retired RN now, home with her twin girls. I'm getting to watch one of my triples. She's having an IVF miracle that she paid for with cash. And another one of my triples that's home with her baby instead of in a classroom as before. So it's just really neat to see your team get to have those moments that you know they worked so hard for.
Man, that is so much and so good. And your husband's amazing too, by the way. And I'm just picturing him as you're sharing your story, you know, of him going along with life. Yeah.
Yeah, that man. I mean, Ashley Sinclair sent us Croc charms because I told him he couldn't wear Crocs during my ambassador speech on stage. And she heard about it on the cruise. So she mailed us Croc charms and made a plan with Brandon that she would throw them up to him on the stage while I was talking. I was like, Brandon, I will legitimately kill you. You are wearing boots, or shoes. Like you're not wearing Crocs on the stage.
That's so awesome. So I had a couple questions for you. So one question would be, after obviously 13 months is insane fast and you just killed it the whole way, through. And I love when you're talking about how you used to go to bed at 9 and like immediately you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to sacrifice some things. And one is going to be sleep, right? You're going to go to bed at 1 a.m. So obviously that's kind of one of the clues, that I heard you talking about. But what are a few things that you would say that all the top earners and It Works have in common? Some of the things everybody has in common that it really takes, at the end of the day to become successful like you have. Can you share a few of those things that people listening can start doing now that will separate them from the masses and help them to promote faster?
The biggest thing I've noticed is discipline. Of doing it when you don't want to do it, doing it when you don't feel like doing it because you've had a hard day, doing it when you are sick, doing it when you could really care less to make a post or send a message. Discipline distinctly sets Black Diamonds and ambassadors, VIPs apart from everyone else, because are there days that that Jerry and I are like, I don't want to send messages right now and I don't really want to make a post because I'm just tired. We've been at this, me for 3 years, them for over 5. Like I just really don't feel like it, but we do it anyways. That discipline is forever going to set you apart. because of doing it, even when you don't feel like it. And that's in everything, guys. I can't tell you how many wrap parties that I just have had a really tough day and I don't feel like it. But you know what? I suck it up. I put some awesome gospel music on in the car on the way. I get in the right mindset and I walk into that party and I dominate it, even if I didn't feel like being there an hour ago. Once I'm there, I'm in the zone and I'm happy. I may not feel like sending those 10 messages that I know I need to send to sign someone up, but I'm going to send them anyways because I'm going to feel more accomplished afterwards knowing I got my messaging in. I'm going to make that post because I know that if there's posts on my news feed, somebody is going to be able to watch. I often think back to times that if that triple diamond, when I joined her, she was a triple, had she stopped posting and been like, well, I mean, 10 grand a month is enough for me. I don't need to post anymore. My life would have never been changed. Mark Pentecost could have made his $1 million, $10 million and said, you know what, Cindy, this is enough for us. We don't need any more than that. And I can remember listening to him one year at conference and just ugly crying and thinking, what if he had stopped? I would never be home with my babies. I would not be having a fourth child. I would not get to do what I'm doing because he decided he's not giving up on us. So we have to make that decision for our newsfeed, for our followers, for the people in our life that are going to bed crying at night because they can't afford something, they can't do something, they're missing those moments, or they just hate their body and they need greens. So you have to realize that you're offering this opportunity to people that are truly in need, and that's a gift. And if you don't open your business and have the discipline of making the posts, of sending the messages, of putting your gear on, of still going to the party, of getting on the call, then it's never going to pay off. Like, you have to make those disciplined decisions, and it's going to be a sacrifice. I don't ever want to sugarcoat that it was easy getting to ambassador in 13 months. I don't want to sugarcoat on my social media that what I do is easy to make this residual income, but what it is it's doable. If somebody's willing to make sacrifice, if you are willing to sacrifice for things, then you're going to see growth that is going to happen no matter what. But we have too many people that make excuses and they don't want to make the sacrifices. They don't want to have to miss their child's game. You know, I don't like missing my child's game, but you know what? I missed my boys' baseball game because guess what? Mike Patillo came into town and did a 1-team-1 mission in Houston for the first time that I'd ever been in this business. So where was my butt? Sitting at a 1-team-1 mission. Missed my kid getting the game ball. It was a gut check. I cried right there on the front row. But I knew if I'm going to tell my team that you have to show up to go up, then my butt was exactly where I needed to be. And that is sitting at an event because it'll always connect you. If you're making excuses that, I mean, I can't miss Grey's Anatomy because that's been my show for a decade. And so I can't be on that call. Yes, you can be on that call. You have to choose what to sacrifice, or the things that you want are going to be what gets sacrificed. Do you want to keep missing the field trips? Do you want to keep missing all of these special moments in your children's lives because you are a slave to a job that decides you're worthy, that decides how much you're worth every hour? Or do you want to make that decision for yourself? Because I know for me, guys, I could have been a teacher and taught as many hours a day that I wanted to, and my paycheck was not going to change. I could change as many lives as I wanted to within that classroom, and my paycheck was not going to change. But here, I get to decide exactly what I'm worth, exactly what my paycheck should look like, especially with Fast Start and Christmas Cash. Like, I'm so laser focused on those. Like, let me tell you, when my commissions hit the bank, like, yeah, I'm excited. You know, but let me tell you, if you could be in a room when my Christmas Cash or my Fast Starts hit, I'm like, yeah, I'm so pumped. That's right. That means I'm helping my team. That means I'm enrolling. That means I'm helping them get their Wrap Cash and their Christmas Cash. Like, it's such a huge deal to me because it shows that I'm leading from the front, that I'm not sitting back collecting a paycheck. I'm helping people change their lives. So it's a sacrifice. You're going to miss things. It's going to happen. I've missed lots of family things, many a dinner and bedtimes. And my boys, I mean, they told their teacher, my mommy works on a computer and at wrap parties. Yep, that's right, baby. That's what mommy does. And I do have to miss things, but that sacrifice is so worth it because I have more time with them than I ever had when I was an educator. It was just on my time hop. When we have parent conferences in the district that I was in, I wouldn't see my children. They would have to go to bed without me because we have parent conferences till after 8 o'clock. And I left my first one and that I was in the company, the only 6 months I taught. And I called my enroller and I was hysterical. And I said, I'm never doing this again. I am never staying up at this school talking to parents about their kids and not putting my kids to bed. This is it. This is the last semester I'm ever doing it. And she was like, that's right. You're going to hit triple this month. That's right. And I did. I hit it on Halloween. But that moment is so vivid in my memory because I missed that because of something that was put on me and not my choice. Now, if I have to miss a bedtime, okay, I decide that. No one else makes that decision for me.
That is so good.
I love
Bree
it.
and I were in a similar kind of thing.
We are. And okay, so I wanted to touch on parties a little bit because I did build a lot on social media. In the beginning, I did a lot of one-on-one wrap appointments. And so we're really working with our team to get them doing more and more parties. So I was hoping that you could quickly walk us through what you do at a party, that like some tips that will really help them to successfully navigate through them.
Okay, so I get asked a lot about how to book them. Nobody hosts parties for me. I know I said that, but I just want to make it clear. What you need to do is to start the domino effect by friending people on Facebook from local places around you. So boutiques, movie theaters, local news stations. If they've got a cute selfie or kids in their profile picture, I'm adding them. Every night, I make sure I add 20 people from a page like that. And it could be a for sale page in the area that I'm going through and stalking, but I'm going to find something, and they're not all going to approve me, but some of them are. So then my posting and my attraction marketing and making sure that I'm super consistent on my page is going to end up going into their news feed, because as they approve me, so the next morning when I get up, I click on my profile and then I click on friends, and you can click on recent when you go that way. And I write down the names of who approved me overnight. So I'm tracking who is approving me, so I can immediately be going to their profiles, liking, commenting, and interacting, because then my posts are going to go into their news feed. So you just need one person to join that's local to you. That's it. So you get one person to join. You have their launch party. You get their friends and family there by giving them a script, talking to them about how they need to be texting, calling, personally inviting people to the party, and call in a favor and say, like, Jury, I don't know if you have plans on Friday night, but it would really mean the world to me if you could come have a girls' night with me. I am super excited about something that I just started. If you want to leave smaller an hour later, bring $25, but no big deal. You can leave your wallet at home. It would really mean a lot to me if you came. So get them in the room. Do not just make a Facebook event and think people are going to come, because they're not going to. You have to call or private message them personally, not in a group message, just personal. Make it about them, that you're excited to see them. So then you get the people in the room. And just as I said earlier, you're going to go through and you're going to have your Party Pad 2.0. So you're going to be talking about the company. You're going to be talking about, and you pick out your favorite parts from the history, whether you really want to focus on gives back or you're wanting to talk about when they became debt free. Like, you're looking through that part of the Party Pad 2.0. Then you're going to be talking about the products. And I put an anecdote story every 2 to 3 products, because you want to keep people entertained. You want them to be really focused. And it's not that you have to be funny, but those little stories are important to people. So I'm going to be telling a story about products, whether it's my own testimony, a testimony I've heard on Facebook, a friend's testimony. In the beginning, I just borrowed everybody's testimonies because I didn't have any customers. So every couple products, I'm going to give that. And then when I get to the opportunity part, I would tell my enroller story. I never told my own. Even as an ambassador, I would tell my enroller story. I would tell somebody else's story. And somebody that I knew even like the tiny details of, because those are the details that make somebody real. Like, you want to tell that small detail of their story that in your mind, you're like nobody needs to know that. But you need to know a leader story forward and backwards. That if somebody asked you about it, you would be able to recite it like that and make it real to them. So you don't need to have a story to start. You have leaders that have those stories that you can be talking about. So you're going to tell the story at the end, and then I work the room. So I'm going to go group to group, and I'm going to be asking. So I'm not sure what you're leaning towards, Chad, but are you thinking you're wanting more of the discount on the products, or you're wanting the discount on the products and you could use an extra $500? So those are the only 2 options they get. And I mean, what person is like, oh, I actually couldn't use an extra $500? Like, okay, Oprah would take $500 chick, but okay. So you give just those 2 options, and I work the room asking people that. And if they're going to say like, well, I need to talk to my husband, then I'm going to ask, well, what do you think your husband's going to say? Like, what's your gut feeling? Like, how's he going to feel about it? Is he going to think it's going to be a scam? So did mine. I would love to be able to get like my husband to talk to him, or I could help answer his questions. And so you just want to really be talking with them and listening about what are they saying about it. Are they saying they could use that $300? Are they saying they have migraines, so you need to be talking to them about greens? Also, throughout my party, as I'm making those anecdotal stories, I'm going to be saying, is there anybody you can think of in your life that you know struggles with high blood pressure, so they could use Greens Chews? Or when I'm talking about greens and I tell my migraines testimony, do you know somebody suffering with migraines? Because I wish I had known years sooner. I would have missed a lot less work and dates with my husband had I known about greens sooner. And so I'm going to be asking that several times throughout the presentation. So at the end, I'm going to ask, was there some people that you thought of? They always say yes. Perfect. Like, you already have, you're like literally this close to getting the free product. Like, would you at least want free product? You may as well do that and be able to help those people, because this one clearly has blood pressure issues and this one has migraines. And so they need these products. If you can't get that person to join, then you need to ask, would you mind giving me their information or sending me a message and a group message with them so we can help them? Because I hate that she's struggling with migraines, or I hate that this person is having those blood pressure issues. Why don't we get them helped too, since you're starting? And that's if the person is not going to be joining as a distributor. But normally you can get them. So I just go through, I talk to each group of people. A lot of times, because we do Wrap Wednesdays, there's a distributor like with potentials and a distributor with potential. So I'm just walking around working the room that way. If it's a house party, I'm sitting on the floor talking with people. If it's a Wrap Wednesday, there's going to be a lot more people in the room, only so everybody can see me is the only reason I'm standing at the front. You don't ever have to do a party a specific way. I feel like so many people get intimidated. Guys, it's whatever's comfortable for you, whether that's sitting at a table, sitting on the floor, standing at the front. When people watch my videos, they see me standing up front, and sometimes it makes them think they have to do that. Guys, I'm a teacher, so I'm used to standing up front, so that doesn't intimidate me. Feel free to just sit with them, just discuss it. And so I'm going to make sure that I'm listening to what they're saying and I'm asking the question. You have to be a professional asker. Posting is not asking. And ending the party with "let me know" is not asking. You have to ask them to wrap the party up.
So good. So I want to ask you this one question, because I just want to hear from your perspective. Never asked this one before, but I think you'll have a great answer. So if someone's on this call right now and they need to make $1,000 in November, because they got to pay bills and they want to have Christmas, right? They don't want to tell the kids, no, you're not getting anything for Christmas. And so they need to have that check on December 15th. What would you do if they were with you? Let's say they came to stay with you for the rest of November. Okay. So let's just say 3 women, they all need to make $1,000. They're coming and they're staying at your house for the rest of November. What is your day with these ladies going to look like every single day?
A lot of throwing up. No, I'm kidding. We'll act like I'm not pregnant. So it's going to be the moment you open your eyes, you need to get a post on social media. And the post, normally my first one of the day, I like it to be an interaction post to get my algorithm jumped up for the day. So I want it to be a funny meme or an inspirational quote or a question, something like that to get the day started. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to check who approved my friend request the night before. So I go to my profile, I click friends, I click recent, and I update my list of who was able to approve me throughout the night. So then I'm going to go to those new profiles and I'm already going to start scrolling. I'm going to start liking, commenting, complimenting these people. The biggest thing that people get nervous is, but I don't want to be, spammy. Guys, you're not going to be spammy if you're creating connection. If you are complimenting people and you are bringing a non-spammy profile to their news feed, you're not going to be spammy. So quit Pinteresting and Googling photos to post of it works. Like, I have some newbies of my own that keep doing that. And I'm like, please stop. No, like, do you see me doing that? I'm not uploading photos like that. Like, you want your profile to be crisp. You want it to be bright. You want it to be positive and uplifting. You don't want to have any of your drama on it. You want to make sure your posts are something that bring positivity to someone's day when they click on it. They look forward to seeing it, whether it's funny, whether it is kind, whatever it may be. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to start interacting on those new profiles immediately, because once I do that once or twice, they're going to come in my newsfeed easily. And then it's easy for me to be liking and commenting on it. But I've got to start it off that very first day after they approve me. So I'm going to be doing that. So then I'm going to be checking Team Page. I'm going to be looking for questions. I'm going to be checking in with team members. So for me right now, my big focus is my team members have to get their 4 LCs because that's an immediate $100 for me. So I've already snagged all of my girls getting their 4 LCs except for I have one left. And I'm pushing hard for this HSN loyal that for like the past 2 days. She's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm like, do it now. So I am trying hard to help the girl get her loyal customers because I want that $100 as much as I want her to get her product credit. So I'm checking in with team members. How is it going? How are you doing with your posts today? Do you have any questions about messaging? Do you need help with how to respond? Because if I can help them, because you have to think they're newly posting. They are newly talking to friends and family. So if I can help them get their customers, then that's going to make it much quicker. So I'm talking with them, making my post, interacting. So then normal life is going on with my children in my life. And then at lunchtime is normally when I do my first set of messages. So I'm going to go through and I will pick like 10 people to message at a time is normally my go-to number that's not too overwhelming and I can do it quickly. And my one that I love to send to like somebody I've never reached out to is it's somebody I've been interacting with. So it's somebody I've been liking and commenting. They've been liking and commenting on my stuff as I'm going to say, hey girl, I'm just had to ask. I know it's totally random, but what do you think about it works? So that is a good opening because it's not abrasive. It's not saying, hey, be my customer. Hey, do you want to make money? I'm just curious. Like, what do you think about it works? And a lot of times they'll say, you know, you're getting me curious about like the coffee, or I don't really know a lot about it, or I actually I think it's just a scam, but I like it because they almost always respond to that specific question. Like, I'm just curious, like, what do you think about it works? And I saw the question just pop up, do you cold message? I don't, and I don't teach my team to cold message. We do not cold message. We make everyone a warm message because we are commenting and liking. We're complimenting. So if it's somebody that you have never spoke to before, no, you should not be messaging them. I always tell my team, you need to be, so let's say I just met Jaree on Facebook. I just added her. I've been commenting and liking, and every time I'm like, I'm obsessed with your lip color. I'm going to message her that. Like, I'm obsessed with your lip color. What type of lipstick do you wear and where can I get it? So it's nothing related to It Works. It's a compliment, and it's related to what I've been commenting on her post, and I'm asking a question. So I'm opening that door, and I'm making her a warm market. I'm making her somebody that I'm friends with. We are creating a connection over lipstick. And it could be every time you post, I'm obsessed with your clothes. What boutique is your favorite? Or where do you get your little boy's clothes? Because he's so stinking cute. Like, you just have to find a way to make that connection with that person and open the way to be able to private message by doing a compliment led by a question after that. So I'm going to be doing that with people. I only use Facebook. I don't use Instagram. So the messaging is going to be key to getting the opening of door with somebody. And don't get discouraged if you don't sign somebody right away for messaging. So a lot of my newbies right now are like, I don't understand. Like, they replied back and now it's like crickets. I'm like, yeah, that's normal. Like, you have to follow up. Like, that's what we do. So on Fridays, you're going to follow up with that person. So you know they're interested because they already liked, or they've already commented, or they've already messaged back with you once about it. We're just going to follow up on Friday. So don't get discouraged if they read your message and they don't respond, or they write back and forth with you and then it's totally crickets. It's totally okay. If I have followed up with somebody like 3 times and they haven't responded, I'm going to be funny. So I'm going to be like, hey girl, I'm not sure if you got abducted by aliens. I was just a little worried, so wanted to check on you. Or I just wanted you to know I'm going to be messaging you until we're great grandparents, so you may as well respond back now. Like, I'm going to find something funny to say to them, or I'm going to send the gif where like the Cookie Monster is like doing his fingers like, come on. Like, you just want to open that funniness with them, because then they're going to be like, oh my God, no, like, I'm here. No aliens. Okay, good. I was really getting worried, girl. Seriously, I know you were interested in the greens. It's no big deal if right now is not the time, but I do have an opening for it. Would you want it? So you just want to get that communication going with them. So in the evenings, I try to make sure I go live at least every other day. Again, we're going to act like I'm not pregnant. So going live is key for your algorithm because it gets more people on your page. It gets more people interacting, and Facebook loves you when you go live. And you don't have to go live about It Works. You can go live about anything. So I just went live last night because of haters, because they're mad that we're decorating for Christmas in November. and it got a ton of views. So that's an idea, y'all. Seriously, it got way more views than I ever expected. So going live, and it doesn't have to be related to It Works, is huge. Now, in the middle of your live, you have to be like, oh my gosh, there's another message, another girl that really wants to start earning Christmas cash. I'm so excited. I've got 2 spots left for somebody to start making $500 for Christmas. Okay, but back to the stupid Christmas. Like, people are freaking out about the lights up. So whatever your video is about, you just go right back to it. But you just got a message while you were doing that video that somebody wants to make some Christmas cash. You just put that right on in there. So live videos are going to be huge. And then I'm going to be setting up wrap parties. So I am messaging about wrap parties. I have one weekly with my team, and we are constantly posting before and afters, because that's what's going to get people in the room. Or we're going to be posting about keto coffee, and we're going to do keto coffee samples. So we have like cute little pictures, and we'll put like sip sample social, and I'll do a pumpkin spice shake. You just buy pumpkin spice coffee creamer and you put it into your vanilla shake, and it makes it pumpkin spice. Everybody loves it. We do keto coffee samples, and we do chocolate green samples. And so we make a lot of posts about that weekly wrap party. And if somebody says, you know what, I actually can't make it this Tuesday, no big deal. We have another one next Tuesday. That's totally fine. And then they're like, oh, I can't make that either. Oh, no worries. You know what? How about Wednesday at 6? Does that work for you? I can come in and meet with just you. So whatever their excuse is, you always one-up them. Like, I can't make that. No big deal. How about this time? What about this day? Or when they say, I can't afford $25 for a wrap. Okay, well, what can you afford? I can afford $10. Okay, well, if you can bring 3 people with you to my house tonight, I'll sell you the wrap for $10. If you can bring 3 people, and we can talk about it. Like, always one up whatever their excuse is, so they run out of them and they have to meet with you. Like, they have to come and do it because you have so many reasons that you can meet with them. So I'm going to be messaging with one-on-ones. I'm going to be messaging about doing a wrap party, and I'm going to be going live a lot about it because live is going to be huge. But focus on, so if somebody said I need $1,000, focus on, I literally would not even consider commissions. That would just be like an added on bonus on December 15th, because your commissions are going to grow if you just focus on Fast Starts and Christmas Cash, because those 2 bonuses are paid out because of you growing your business. So just focus and sit down and make an actual plan. So I need $1,000, then that means I need to sign, and I want you to make it like a specific plan. Like, that means I'm going to sign 5 distributors, and I'm going to help all 5 people get their 4 customers. So that's going to be enough points to get me, that's $500 worth of 4 customers, and then 2 times 5, that would do it right there without even the Fast Starts. So you could actually go less than 5. So, but you have to work backwards. You need to figure out how many points you need for $1,000. So 1,000 times 5. So you figure out like how much you need. And then you work backwards and say, okay, then I'm going to sign this many distributors. I'm going to help them get their customers, and then this much in Fast Starts. But you have to have an actual plan. You can't just say, yep, I'm making $1,000 in Christmas cash this month. How? How are you doing it? Are you going to sign that many loyal customers? Or are you planning to sign a mix of distributors and customers? Are you planning to help any of those distributors get their 4 customers? Like, you have to sit down and put the how, and then put the literal of how you're going to make it happen. Like, I'm going to blitz 3 times a week. I'm going to have a wrap party once a week. I'm going to message every single day. I'm going to watch a YouTube video every night before bed about building my business. I'm going to plug into everything that Chad and Jerry offer. Like, you have to put the literal of what you're going to do to make it happen, or you're just wishing, and that's not going to pay out and pay for Christmas. You have to have a plan.
So freaking good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people on here that are wondering a little bit, like, as far as cold messaging. So how long does it take you to turn a cold message into a warm message? Like, so let's say you complimented me about my lipstick, and I told you what kind it was, and then would you ask more questions, like, so are you a stay-at-home mom? Like, would you start asking questions to lead into?
Yes, I try to keep the conversation going, and the way I do that is always by asking questions. So, gosh, you're so stinking precious. So, like, what do you do? Or where are you from? Or continuing to ask questions that I've noticed on their profile. So I noticed she has girls. So I'm going to ask, girl, I always wanted to have a little girl, but I'm shopping for Christmas for my niece. Like, I have to ask, where do you buy her clothes? So I'm going to keep asking questions, whether it's what she does or related to something on her profile. And I'm going to watch the flow of the conversation. And normally within a couple of days, I normally don't do it right away because I really do like them to not think that it's spammy. I am Shockingly, no, people don't find it creepy asking them questions. They will answer you. I know it's crazy, but they will. But I'm then going to ask, like, I know this is super random, but I just have to ask you, you would kill it at what the business that I'm in. Have you ever thought about making money from home? And I'm not going to bring up it works. I'm not going to say what I do. I'm just going to, it's the same when I blitz. Like when I blitz a waitress, when I blitz the girl checking me out, I'm going to say, I don't know if you would be interested or not, but you would be incredible at what I do. Have you ever thought about making money from your phone? Or have you ever needed an extra income? And then I'm just immediately going to get their cell phone number or get them on my Facebook when I'm doing it as a blitz. So yes, I do like voice messages because they hear your voice, they hear your passion, they understand that you aren't just cold messaging a million people because you actually took the time to send them a voice message. So yes, I do think voice messaging is huge, especially because it breaks it up. And it's curiosity kills the cat, y'all. They feel like they have to click play. They want to know so bad what you were going to say.
That's so awesome. Girl, thank you so much for taking the time to get on here tonight. Chad's been writing like crazy.
I've got writer's cramp. Yeah, I've got a lot of great notes here. This is great stuff. Really, really good. So do you have any final thoughts or anything that you just feel led to share before we close this out tonight?
Don't let this month pass you by without realizing that your hands are on gold with Christmas cash. Like, I'm shocked that they came out with this promotion because it is so stinking good. Like, it is unbelievable the amount of money that is just waiting for you guys to earn it. So don't sit back and say, but I wish I was like Ashley, or I wish I was like Jeree and Chad. Like, I just feel like I can't do that, or I can't sign these people. You can, but it's going to be all about your mindset. So the difference between us as Ambassador Diamonds is we have heard more no's. We have made more sacrifices. We have asked more people than what you've asked. You can be sitting here in a heartbeat if you will become a professional asker and not worry what people think. Because you know what, right now there could be people on your newsfeed that are like, if she makes one more post about how It Works paid for this or It Works paid for that, and it could be $25 to put gas in your car. But let me tell you, they're jealous because they wish It Works was putting gas in their car. They wish It Works was paying for diapers for their kid. And none of those people on your newsfeed or in your life that are annoyed, frustrated, and jealous by what you're doing have ever offered, you know what, I feel like you're really having a tough month. Can I just pay for Christmas for your kids? How about your mortgage? You want me to take your kids to Disney? Let me just help you with that. All of these things that mean so much to you, that are your why, that are your vision, put them on a sticky note and cover your TV in them. Cover your laptop in them. Cover whatever it is you watch Netflix on, and quit doing those type of things because they're holding you back from everything it is that you want, which is that vision board, which is that Disney trip. It is being able to pay for groceries. It is being able to put gas in your car and filling it all the way up, not $20 here and there. And understand that nobody on your newsfeed or in your life was given the same vision as you, because he gives each one of us a very specific vision, and it's only for you. And they don't have to understand it. You just have to decide that you're worthy of it. You have to decide that you are going to work hard enough to make that happen. Because the reality is, you can look around all day long and say, well, I can't, my team's not working. I don't have enough resources. I don't have the time. But the reality is, you are who decides that, and nobody else. So take it on your ownership and say, you know what? I may have had a rough month last month. That's not happening this month. I'm making the $500. I'm going to get the $1,000 in Christmas cash. I'm going to make this my month because I know what I do right now is going to determine everything about my 2018. And I'm not starting off another year like I did 2017. I'm not looking at another vision board and saying, wish I could have made that happen. I'm going to actually do it because nobody can make it happen but me.
So wow. Good.
That's a great way to end this Zoom tonight, Ashley. And just thank you again. I mean, you're pregnant, and I'm glad you're having a good night, and you didn't have to have a bowl with you during this Zoom.
I made it through y'all's Zoom on Tuesday. Let me tell you, I was, and then y'all had me crying. That does not help. Brandon whispered, he's like, do you need a bowl? I'm like, stop talking.
That's so great. Well, we just appreciate you and Brandon so much. You guys have such a wonderful family, and just love your story. And thanks for your time tonight on here with our team. I know everybody's excited and look forward to hearing about all the aha moments. And I'll be following up with you to let you know how
Well, my inbox was up for like hours after y'all were on. It would not stop. My team page, my inbox, like y'all completely blew their minds. They said it's the best Zoom I've ever had.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
I love you guys.
We love you, girl. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.